Hi. I started teaching, you know, the layman people, that don't know much about spirituality and stuff in the night and got kind of stopped in it. So, and this was going to be part two. But before I do that, I have to relay something that I've been kind of looking at and working on. What you doing, baby? Huh? What you doing? Come on. Huh? Okay, dog. All right. Anyway, I've been now. When I first got on this thing called spirituality, it generally when we wake up, it comes generally from a place of maybe something sad might happen, or some kind of upheaval. It seems that happens more often than not. But there are many things that can trigger your spirit to wake up, because most of us aren't born in the spirit. It's in it. It's in us. It's all around us. I think that our spirit kind of surrounds us, but it's not awake. We've got our minds and we've got our bodies, and they suffice for a time. But there are three parts of us, and not two. And most people are starting to wake up, and if they haven't yet, they're going to. But I've noticed that people are really tuning into the Most High, Jesus, or whatever their preference is, and I'm okay with whatever it is, because it was one Creator that made us all, that started us, got us going, and He had a purpose, and He had a reason for doing it. Now, since this 3-eye atlas has come in, the minute I saw it, I knew that there was something more to this thing. It wasn't a normal piece of rock floating around out there in the universe, and it was doing things like changing courses and going against every known law that we have of the universe. So I knew that there was an intelligence to it, or at least running it. And anyhow, so I've been kind of keeping up with it, and this thing had actually shed its rock and everything, and became something that was like 1,800 centimeters high, but nearly the size of Texas wide. And think about that. And it came into our sphere here on Earth. Did some things over on Yellowstone, and even connected up with our ISS, the International Space Station. But we haven't heard a word about it from our government. That's troubling, because it didn't come here to be an enemy, but it did come here to wake us up. That's the way I'm taking it. That's the way it looks like to me. And at some point, as it was doing its thing and whatever, at some point it took off, and then one evening, I guess one night, It actually spoke words. Now, what I've known for a while, because I keep up with things that might pertain to us, and certainly would pertain to me. We're not the only thing out here. We're not the only humanoid beings in this part of the galaxy, or part of the universe. This much I do know. And if you believe in God, then you're going to have to believe that too, because God doesn't do anything little. He doesn't do anything small. And we were being eyeballed to join a galactic kind of community of planets who have different beings or whatever on them. Now, you can think I'm crazy. I don't really give a shit. The smart person's going to say, yeah, I doubt very seriously that we're all alone. But if God's the creator of the universe, think about this for a minute, and you believe that, then you have to believe that he probably had something to do with those people out there too, right? Well, I have to believe that when I was told that we were being protected by a certain bunch of those neighbors of ours. And that's when, about that time, that I hear about this three-eye atlas, and I have to believe that three-eye atlas has got a lot to do with that protection, because we are just now getting to the point where we can actually get to where we're worthy, actually, to be in this galactic community. But I have to say, many of our governments, our people who think they're elite, are on their worst behavior. This war that they're fixing to have with the three main superpowers and other smaller superpowers, it's looking like Armageddon's heading out its way. And that's on our worst behavior. And because of that, what was said to Earth was that they didn't want us in that community. Because like I said, what we're showing right now is our worst behavior. And our governments are showing their worst behavior. I'm disappointed. Because this is my last life here. You know, I've been here a few times. And many of the light workers out there have been there. And we came here voluntarily to come and help mankind, you know, help mankind ascend to their highest selves, to help them heal and help them to learn about their spirit and what it's for. And it's for one thing and one thing only, and that's to converse with God. He gave us, there was a time when, in the old days here, you went to church every Sunday, but you know what? He built you a church right inside your mind, right inside your body. It's called a pineal gland. He gave us a Savior who'd save us, because we just won't, we can't. I mean, sin's in us, and it's not in I guess it's not in every people out there, but it's in us. And God loved us enough to give us a way that we could find this what's it called when you live forever? It's appointed for all men to die once, but after that, when the day comes that we'll be awakened, we'll live in heaven, with God, Jesus, and whatever. But there are actually, the thing is, my purpose would be to bring heaven here on earth. So I implore you all, anyone who listens to this, and I do hope that they do. I don't care about your old-fashioned way of thinking. I don't care about that you don't think that what I'm telling you is true, but that you hear it. Because if you don't listen to it and you decide that, oh, he's full of it, okay, your blood isn't on my hands, and it won't be. I love mankind. I think that they can do a lot better than they're doing. I'm not real pleased with our government. It's done nothing but separate us and, pit us against each other. And these moves that they've done here recently, it was one thing to go in and help all little Israel against all these people. But I have to say, that's a war that's been going on since the beginning of time, right? And yeah, it's one thing to defend them, but to go in and start doing all that there's, Mr. Trump was pretty mouthy about it, you know what I mean? And they're making him look like a fool. Not to mention that they, now we've got the two major superpowers and others pitted against us. We've got Californians out there, paying $7.50 a gallon for gasoline. And Mr. Trump's words to that was, well, you might have to pay a little bit more for peace. Now, we could make peace a lot easier and not have to pay that much for it. In fact, we'd been all right if we had been a little more peaceful. You poked the bear, buddy. You kept on poking the bear. You've stuck your nose into the Supreme Court's business. You've set it up so you got a bunch of yes men in the Senate. And they look weak as hell, and none of them are seeming to care about what the American people think. I'm disgusted by it all, to tell you the truth. I mean, listen, we should be doing better than our parents did. But our parents beat us to hell. And I think that every one of them should be voted out of office. Every one of them. For not standing up and stand up to this guy. He's a bully. A thug. I see a whole lot of good going on right now, and that's up to the people, and the people are going to have to stand up, because whether you'll see his kids getting thrown into war, getting sent off to be the boots on the ground, as he called it. And let me tell you, I was in the Marine Corps 6 years. My kid went to service. He was in the Army, went to Afghanistan. And we are tired of sending our children out to fight in some idiot's war that wasn't even necessary. Those people don't care about anything but their money. You get that? They don't make it easy for us to make money, but they sure are taking the money that they can get. Boy, I tell you what, and they're changing laws so they can use the big pharma and their stock market and whatnot. I'm disgusted by it all. And you know what? That is pretty much what that thing said. Because of all that they're doing and all the way they are. Got secret societies. God put himself inside of me to look through my eyes. And you know, I have family members. I have people who called themselves my friend who are on their worst behavior. They embarrass me. There's a God of the universe looking and watching them do this stuff. I mean, listen, I'm not perfect. I have my issues, you know. But I never go out into the day with the thought of trying to steal something from somebody or being just a hateful jerk. And that's not who the American people used to be. We showed goodwill to all people around the world. We fed them. We took care of them if they needed help. Think about that. Now this guy's trying to kick out actual citizens out of the United States. Who the hell is this guy? What the? It was so bad. You get born in this country. This is your country. If you fuck up, well, guess what? You go to jail. But they can't throw you out in the ocean. When did he become a god? When did he become a king? We don't have that. That's the reason the Constitution was written for the way that it is. So nobody would get what Trump thinks he has. Absolute power. He doesn't. But he kind of does because of the pussies in the Senate. And it's all to make them rich. That's all it is. When it comes down to it, it's all about greed. You're pathetic. I'm telling you that. I'm going to tell you. I know God. I have a direct line to that guy. I love him. And he has done as much as he can do. And you turn around and screw him like that. I mean, it's taken us 100 years or better just to get used to different people that they vote them out of the Constitution. What, the Indians and the blacks, you know. I mean, listen, I don't have a problem with them. I mean, you guys, you're just as American as we are. Your culture may be a little different than mine, but mine's no better, you know. You've had your crosses to bear. I understand that because I've had my crosses to bear too. And now we got to tolerate this bullshit. That's what it is. A bunch of shit. I wish they'd just wipe out politics altogether because it's a bunch of mealy-mouthed fuckers. running their yaps about things that they have no business in. They're shutting down the oil trade and stuff like this, because of their big fat mouths. Don't believe a damn thing that's going on over there. Don't believe it. Because this guy gets on here, he says, oh, we're kicking their ass. No, we're not. They're making a fool out of us. It's the American people's way of doing things. As far as us guys that are down here in the bottom, you know what I mean? We go to the country, if we go to war, we're doing it because we're going for our country. But when our country starts doing things like being chicken shits, and picking fights with one's people who they shouldn't be picking fights with, it's always been my idea and my belief that you go for, what's the word, where you talk to the people, you get together and you diplomatic solutions. You know what I mean? But I didn't see any diplomatic solutions on this one. I saw Mr. Tough Guy Bully there round up the damn planes and stuff and start bombing the shit out of things. When they get tagged for bombing a school. That's just fucking wrong, man. And what did it do? Those people have just as much right to defend themselves as we do. This time we're wrong. We're straight up wrong in this deal. And I don't think the people in America wanted to be wrong and do something that was wrong. We give Israel a lot. And I am a worshiper of the same God as Israel does. And rightfully that, I haven't seen a whole lot of diplomatic solutions going on with these people between Israel and the Arab states. But I hear a lot about people starving and catching all kinds of shit over there. But I'm sorry. They need to get together and start acting like human beings, because those are all human beings down there dying. Now, granted, God gave them an inheritance, and it was that land, the land of Canaan and whatnot. And in 1947, they got it back. The Palestinians, they tried to relocate, not, but they've been giving them hell since, and it's been a constant war. I don't know a whole lot more about it, except for the West Bank and all that stuff is at issue, But they're damn sure they're outnumbered there, they're like surrounded by all these Arab states. So we have provided as much defense there as we can. But this thing was it was an offensive mission. What I don't understand is when we're now having to pay $7.50 a gallon on gasoline in some places, and then after Russia decides to back up Iran along with China, Mr. Trump goes his weak ass over there and drops and gets, takes their sanctions out, lets them have way on that deal. But what? They give you anything? No. And actually, what they gave you was more missiles being thrown at you. Go figure. Good diplomatic solution, huh? I don't know what the fuck that was about. I watched the news, and this guy is like trying to punish anybody who has anything bad to say about him. You know? But he was wrong. He doesn't have any kind of real... He's not a good diplomat. Let's face it. Neither is Rubio. Obviously. You know, I've seen many presidents come and go in my lifetime. I'm 68 years old. And this is by far the worst administration I've ever seen. Taking thugs and putting them in the cabinets and whatnot, you know. And it's always a big show. Look at what Trump's doing now, and it's always a big lie. Just go and fact check all this stuff, and more than probably 80% of what he says is lies. I'm disappointed. But I'm disappointed because we had an opportunity here to get help from these neighbors in other planet systems. I mean, these people actually came all the way from some maybe 2.4 light years away, and they got here pretty fast. Think about it. So they've got technology that can take a piece of metal, whatever the hell was inside that thing, I don't know, and go the speed of light or better, and stop on a dime and not bend. Think about that. You got something as big as the state of Texas, wide, right? And about 1,800 centimeters. I don't know how big that is, but when you think about it, it's like a piece of paper, okay? But it was hard enough and strong enough to withstand that kind of movement and not bend. That's technology. Think about that. And they were going to help us with things like cures for cancer and things like that. But our government and our elites, let me say elites, because they ain't elite as shit. They need to go and stand in the wars that they start. They made us look bad. Because there are a lot of good people out there, and I know, I get the feedback on what people have to say, and they are like, wow, finally somebody comes along to say that we can actually do it. We can actually do what Jesus Christ did and told us to do. We can love our neighbor. We can, we can help our friends and neighbors, whatnot, and we don't have to be assholes. We're only here for a little while. As long as we're doing God's will, God's going to look out for us. I've seen it. Listen, I'm not even good at this. I'm not. But because I love that guy up there that guy. Because when he came and saw me, I met him. And when I said, why me? You know what he said? He said, because you always keep your heart open to love, and I love you. You got a kind of soul that's the only one here on this earth. And you still got high honor because you still got an open heart and your intentions are never bad. And I never realized how many people are out there who have intentions that are just about trying to take something from somebody or being jerks, And because I thought that most people were like me, but there are a lot of us. Trust me, there are a lot of us in this community of spirituality. We're not into religion. Most of us aren't, But we believe what God taught us. We believe what Jesus taught us. That's not a religion. That's spirituality. For those of you who don't know and want to call us witches and everything else, I'm not a witch. I get tired of hearing people talk about that shit. They don't know anything about it. Why don't you go look into it? Those people work with God every day. They stay connected to Him so that people can know exactly what God thinks of their lives and what they could do different to make it better. The old people, I have a grandmother who was a major player in the Church of Christ in Del City, Oklahoma. When she died, it was standing room only. And a lot of religious people think that, oh boy, what these spiritual people are doing is just, no, we can't do it that way. Well, guess what? My grandmother, and believe it or not, you go on to the next life if you are worthy. And some of those people, and believe it or not, I've talked to people over there on the other side, because those people can actually channel. You get to talk to them, and I know that they're telling the truth because I know those people that were over on the other side, and these people don't know. And when they channel that stuff, they're talking about things I knew before they passed. God gave us faith, hope, and love that we carry in us from the beginning. Now, a lot of us get messed up because maybe their parents don't believe in God or something like this, but a lot of them get the chance to finally come around and find out that there is really a living God. And it's about time the rest of us start talking about it. Because there is. Do I call him by name? Nope. I call him Father or God. That's what I call him. I know that he is the God who spoke to Abraham, and he's the God who sent his own kid out here to die for a bunch of human beings who didn't deserve it. But and they screwed up when they, in the garden. They got kicked out of the garden. Now, we are getting what? Those fallen angels that fell with this. They say Satan and all this, but that's kind of a lie. Most of what we do wrong, and we do it ourselves. They can blame it on Satan all they want. But the fact of the matter is, we need to take accountability for what we do. because mankind's got they got some issues. They got some flaws in them. But it's time. We're changing over to a 5D consciousness. Okay, whether or not we get into this galactic thing, it's time, because in me is evolution, and we have to evolve. Just like all the little animals out there will evolve. All the fish in the sea, they will evolve. This earth will evolve. And if we don't evolve, we don't stay with it. We're done. The blueprint is inside of me. Me, I'm an angel when I go home. But here, I'm on a human experience, and I'm just like you. Except for one thing. They stretched out my soul, and God got in. And right now, he's hearing everything I got to say, and I'm saying it. And he sees everything I see. But I'm talking about it, and I'm tired of not talking about it. And he has the power to destroy this whole thing and say, fuck it. I don't know what they did on Yellowstone, but Yellowstone is a super volcano, and if it goes out, it just goes off. Guess what? Most of the United States will go away. It will be gone. He didn't have to drop any bombs on anybody. This whole world is a bomb. He can just go ahead and do it. Boom! It's good. We're gone. Think about those people in Pompeii. There's no escape. Mr. Trump, I'm sorry, but we won't be getting to Mars anytime soon. Maybe for you to talk to Mr. Trump and settle his ass down when you were there. Maybe we would have got some help to get there. You see, the thing I'm looking at is this. For 2,000 years, over 2,000 years, God's been doing work to be able to put us back in the garden and let us get back to what he intended us to be. And we were not here to destroy the earth and destroy mankind. That's not our purpose here. I would suggest that you remember what Jesus said before you left. Love thy God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbors as you love yourself. Well, most of you out there don't even love yourselves. So get to loving yourself so you can love somebody else. That's what us spiritual guys are. We're here to show you how to do that. It takes a little work. You don't just get to go on and continue on your merry way doing the same shit you've been doing for 100 years and think that you're going to get there. You're not. It takes real effort. But it's not that hard. It can be done. All you have to do is listen and do it. But you have to evolve to go on to the new earth. That's just the way it is. And when you die, one of the first steps you're going to take is they're going to take your heart and they're going to weigh it with a feather. And if that feather doesn't match that heart, you're not going to heaven. It takes work to take all that crap out of yourself and get all that hatred and anger and shit that causes cancer out of you, okay? And you can't go around doing shit like deciding to say, oh, some of my family's got the inheritance and the house, so I think I'll steal it. That's more on top of it. And when they put that feather on there, it's going boom. That old heart's going to just drop. So are you. You think I don't know what I'm talking about? Go ahead and try it. How many years do you think you're going to go? I know those people that I'm talking about right now, they ain't got many more. If they got one more, I'll be surprised. Because they're jerks. And the world is a better place without them in it. So think about that. If what you do makes the world a worse place, stand by. Jesus gave Peter, he said, whatever you allow here will be allowed in heaven. Whatever you don't allow will not be allowed in heaven. God told me that. He said, whatever you allow here will be allowed in the heaven on earth. And whatever you don't allow will the same will not be allowed in the heaven on earth. Think about that. Because right now I'm telling you it's not going to be tolerated. Because I'd like to see the good people, because there's a whole lot of good people who do love God, who do love mankind, and do see a better world. But you know, like the Marine Corps said, you always got your 10%. Who just out to just screw up the show. You think about that, everybody, and I mean everybody who hears this, and I'm going to make sure that it gets published. Because we have a very small window of opportunity to save mankind and this earth. So, I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't love mankind and I didn't love this earth. It's taken care of us for a long time, and people like Trump came along and just took away all the things that were trying to clean it back up again. Because, listen, those elites got to have their money. But fuck your money. You need to get that shit back right. The money's not God. It may be, to a lot of you jerks, money is God. It's not to me. I never really cared much about it. As long as I had enough to eat and had a roof over my head and had somebody to care about. Cared about my children, you know. And once in a while I could have some fun with them, you know what I mean? I mean, I didn't ask for much. And there's a lot of people out there like that. But they work their asses off every day to give their family more, better. They're not out there trying to get filthy rich and fuck the worst of the world, you know? So that you people that are doing that, being that jerk, who said, fuck everybody. Well, fuck you. And get your act together. I've been fighting with these people for 10 years or better, maybe 20 years, who are like that. And I am so fed up. I wonder if I should even continue this thing because I'm so mad. They've showed their asses and embarrassed the human race. Now, some people might think that they're doing a good thing to come against me, but I guarantee you, God's not seeing like that. He got me. I get to be a co-creator of the heaven on earth, the new world. And all of those governments that are out there doing the stupid shit that they're doing, you think they're going to rule anything? They're not. They're not. Because they fucked it up so bad. You got people out there in Africa and stuff dying of starvation. And who the hell's there? America was there, been for a long time, I know. We had the Peace Corps and things like that. See none of that going on now. In my state, every extra penny goes to the police. And most of them are corrupt. You may think I'm just venting, but I'm not venting about anything I don't know firsthand about. Good people out there who believe in, the American way, which the American dream is pretty much fucked now. Because of all the people out there trying to just get rich and not fuck everybody. That attitude. I mean, it's nice to have money, and it's good to have money put back for a rainy day. That's good. But there comes a point when it's just obscene about what people, how they do with money, and then what the things that they do once they get there. I know, I've seen it. He gave us a set of rules to live by, and not because for any more reason than, listen, that's bad for you, and it's going to kill you early. You're going to wonder what happened to you when you're 50 years old dying of a heart attack. He did it because he was our father. He stopped and confounded the languages to slow us down because we were just too damn smart for our own good. He destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah for the immoral things and they were trying to fuck the angels when they came in there to see about it. And not regular girls and guys. No, there was guys and guys. Weird shit, you know what I mean? Some people may not tell that, but I'm going to tell you, I'll tell it. I'll tell you, because I've had people lately who have come to me and want to do all this weird shit. And I'm like, hey man, I ain't into all that. I ain't that. I'm not that kind of guy. One guy, one woman, they get together, they build. They love each other. America makes divorce just a little too easy to get these days. They put the balance of power. It's a mess. We need to get back to loving each other. We need to get back to a world who has respect for the Creator who created us. Taught us how to live, that we should be happy. And this world doesn't create as much happiness anymore as it used to. That's a sad thing because we've got all this technology And if you look at it, it's kind of technology that makes us lazier. You want to go and explore out there in space and whatnot? Get your lives right. America was great at one time. This guy came in talking about, we're going to make America great again. It did not happen. He failed. America is less great than she was when he came in. But there are a lot of people out there who are willing to see us be a great nation. And we work our ass off to make it happen. But we're not going to do it by thugging our ways into Congress and, killing police officers trying to save people. I mean, think about all the bullshit you've seen over in the past 10 years. That's this guy. And everybody else is at fault. He's never at fault for a fucking thing. We can't pass the laws that we need because our Congress is separated, and this is like a constant battle between Democrats and Republicans. Food is so high that people aren't getting enough to eat. And now they can't even buy a bag of candy for their little kid if they're on SNAP. I don't have any SNAP deals or anything like that, but, some people do need it. And if we're going to feed the rest of the world, then we damn sure better feed our own. The only people who's making money right now is Big Pharma and the fucking insurance companies. Boy, they sure wrote that law, didn't they? Congressmen get up off their asses and do their fucking jobs. Instead of trying to fucking make the goddamn military go out there and do a job so that they don't have to do anything. Or if you do, make sure that your kids go to war with them. Anyway, tonight that's what I'm going to say, and I'm not going to be happy. I can't say that there's a damn thing good going on here right now, except for the people who do love God. Because at least I know. He sees us. He sees us. And we'll go out there and we'll show the world who our Father is by being kind and being right. Those people whose God is money, or the evil things that they do. I ain't seen him around lately, have you? I don't see that his kids doing a damn thing for anybody except for themselves. Let's get back to being America. Let's get back to the good things that we used to be. America, I do love you. God, I do love you. And I believe, given a chance, this world and this mankind can pull this off. I asked one time, when I first started this thing, and I was being attacked by my own family members and these people who had called themselves my friend, who I found out that early on that they weren't really my friend. And God was fixing to cash it in on them. And I said, well, God, here, let me try. Give me one more week. See if I can turn these people around. Because really, I don't want to see anybody go to hell. I don't want to see anybody end their lives earlier than they need to. God granted it. He said, all right, I'll give you that. And you know, in that 7 days they gave me, they attacked me again. That's not everybody though. Right now, we were winning. We're winning against this bunch of people who think that they're better than and they can be God. We're winning. And a lot of what I'm saying is after 10 years of a war that I fought alongside God. I have to give all the glory to him. He's the one who really fought. And believe me, when it comes to his kids, he ain't playing. And a lot of you out there, if you haven't gone to Jesus and said, listen, thank you for what you did, I believe you. And please, remember me. If you haven't done that, then I'd get to doing it. And then I would maintain it, because you need to have some kind of a relationship with Jesus and God, you know. Like I said, I never knew you. Who the hell are you? You know? I mean, there's a lot of Christians out there who think they're going to be going to heaven, but they ain't done nothing with God. They did that one thing and bam, went straight back and started doing the same shit they always do, and they call themselves Christian. But guess what? I don't believe that's the way it works. You know, I don't pray as much as I should. I'm not perfect, and nobody out there is. But there's some silly shit going on nowadays, and that listen. And if you're just watching it go on, and you're not adding to anything good, and just watching the evil go on, then you're right along with them. Stand up and be counted. Be counted for the people that we are. Our people is a good people. There's a few jerks out there fucking it up. Most of you out there raising your kids or loving your grandbabies, you know, you're doing nothing wrong. The people I'm talking about, they know who they are. Bribing judges, bribing doctors taking those bribes, and judges taking those bribes. That shit's corrupt. They're asked to govern us, not to fuck us over. Get back to doing what you gave an oath to do. We live by a constitution. You don't get to be a president that says, oh, well, I'm going to discount that. Fuck that. I'm not going to go. I'm going to do something that just bypasses anything like Congress or whatever. You don't get to do that. That's cheating, and that's bullshit. You're not a king. You're a little man who's not doing his job properly. America, we have decisions to make here. That's what it is. We need to find out about who we are going to be into the future. What kind of people do we want to be? Because we are being represented as a bunch of bullies. That's not who we are. So America, I love you. God bless you all. And good night.